students, Mr. Tim here from Premier Martial Arts in Aurora, ready to go over our next piece of curriculum. If you're enjoying the videos, make sure you like and subscribe. Don't forget also to check out our Instagram. It's Martial Arts Southlands as well as Fitness Southlands. Anyway, let's get started. All right, students, before we begin any techniques, let's start just with a little exercise with this movement here. What we're going to do is we're going to go squat into a front kick. Right now, when I do my squat, I want to make sure I lift my chest. I'm going to kind of suck my stomach muscles back in towards my spine as I sit my butt back, and I keep my eyes up as I squat down, keeping my heels on the floor. Now, as soon as I pop up, chamber up, shoot my front kick, right away, squatting. Next time I come up, other front kick. Perform this 20 times so that we get 10 kicks on each side before continuing. Next, let's run through and remind ourselves our 1 through 4 basic combinations. So I'm going to start in my guard stance, start just with my jab. After my jab, we'll go jab, cross. After my jab, cross, it's jab, cross, hook, jab, cross, hook. After a jab, cross, hook, then it's jab, cross, hook, cross. Jab, cross, hook, cross. Just like this. After you complete the combination number 4, go back to combination number 1 and run through that sequence again. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Run through that 10 times before continuing on to the next thing. Students, next let's work on our bob and weave and run through our bob and weave. Now, let's run through this at, we'll say, 3 different levels today. So first, I'm going to be in my guard stance, and I'm just going to practice just the duck by itself, right? Just the bob. Now, in my guard stance, again, I'm going to engage my core, keep my elbows down, keep my hands up and my eyes up as I just duck down and up. I don't want to duck down too far, right? My head's about this big. I only want to duck down maybe this much, maybe just a little bit more, but not much more than that. So I'm just ducking, popping right back up. The next level of our bob and weave is going to be taking an angle one side or the other, right? That's where the weave part comes in. So if I go to this side, as I duck, bam, I'm going to take just a little step to that side, and then I'm going to dip my head over to that side, come right back up into my guard stance. As I come back, I duck down, I take a little step over to that side as I make a little U shape with my head, and pop up in my guard stance right here. Just going side to side, that's going to be our second level of bob and weave. Now our third level of bob and weave is going to be coming forward just a little bit and taking an angle at the same time. So now I duck down. At the same time I make my little U shape to that side, I'm going to really reach my front foot up at a 45-degree angle or so, right, 30, 45-degree angle, and then as I come back up into my guard stance, I make that little turn. As I come back, I duck, start to make that U shape. My back foot's going to step up maybe 30 to 45 degrees this way. That way, as soon as I pop back up to my guard stance, I'm turning just a little bit, right? Those are going to be our 3 different levels of bob and weave, right? Practice all 3, and then, or rather, practice all 3, and then what I want you to do is I want you to add in those 1 through 4 punches for them too. Let's go back to level 1 of the bob and weave, just the duck. Now I'm going to go jab, bam, right away, hit my bob. Then we're going to 2, jab, cross, right away, hit my bob. Go to 3. Jab, cross, hook, right away, hit my bob, then 4. 2, 3, 4, right away, hit my bob. Go ahead and practice that just with the bob. Maybe, another 10 times through each combination before moving on and practicing the other levels. All right, students, we practiced our 1 through 4 combinations with the bob by itself. So let's talk about adding in the weave when we're doing our 1 through 4 combinations. Now, generally, when you practice your 1 through 4 with a bob and weave, I want to bob and weave towards the side of my last punch. So if I start at 1, my jab is going to be on this side. So when I bring this back, that's going to be the side that I bob and weave. Level 2, I'm just going sideways, taking that bob and weave. Right? If it was level 3, then I'd step and I'd take that little angle at the same time. Now 2, I go jab, cross. This is my last punch. So when I bring it back and I start my bob and weave, that's going to be the side that I want to take my bob and weave to. Now, when I go number 3, jab, cross, hook. Again, as I rewind, this is my last punch. That's going to be the side that I want to weave to. Same thing with 4, jab, cross, hook, cross. Again, my cross, my rear side is my last punch. So generally, that's the side that I want that bob and weave to end up going to, right? Again, on each level, taking the angle as well as just going sideways, practice each of those, we'll say 5 times each as you go through the sequence of 1 through 4. All right, students, now that we're feeling great with that, let's focus on that level 3 bob and weave, and we take that angle. Now that we're here, let's build our combination just a little bit farther by adding 2 counters, right? Or 2 more punches after my defensive movement. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to start with my 1. I start with my jab. I retract my jab, and I'm going to do my level 3 bob and weave. As I bob and weave, I'm stepping forward 30 to 45 degrees, and I'm taking this angle. Now, notice when I'm here, how my hips are sunken down, right? I shouldn't be able to explode right into counter punches or continuing my combination with punches right away. Now, I just did my bob and weave towards my lead side because that was my last punch off of my 1 through 4, right? That was my last punch here. So I should have weight loaded here as I make that bob and weave. So as I explosively come up, that's going to be the first hand that I throw with a hook, right? And then I'm just going to finish with my cross. Again, that first one, I go 1, it's my jab. Right away, I hit my level 3 bob and weave, taking the angle. As I come up, I want to explosively come up with a hook on that side because that's where my weight is going. Bang, finishing with the cross. All right, now let's talk number 2. Go number 2, jab cross. Again, as I bob and weave here, pay great attention to the angle you're taking in your balance, especially as we rotate off our rear foot. Extra important that we're doing a great job keeping our guard stance strong, right? I don't want to end up with it too long. I don't want to end up with it too close. Anyway, I just threw my cross right here. As I take the step, I want to step it up 30 to 45 degrees as I hit this bob and weave. Now, I've loaded my weight into this rear side, so as I pop up and I finish with 2 hands, this is going to be that first punch that I throw with my cross, and then right away I'll finish with my front side hook. Again, combination 2, I'm going jab cross, bob and weave towards that rear side, taking that angle. My weight is here, so I launch here. Cross, hook. 3 is going to look like this. Jab, cross, hook. This being my previous side, that's the side I bob and weave. My weight is on that side, so that's the first punch. Again, number 3, jab, cross, hook, bob and weave, hook, cross. And then number 4, jab, cross, hook, cross, bob and weave. My weight's there, cross, hook. One more time, number 4. Jab, cross, hook, cross, bob and weave, cross, hook. All right, students, next what we're going to do is we're going to practice our break fall at a sideways angle. But before we do, let's review our break fall going backwards. Right now, as we've learned in the previous video, as I squat down, I want to tuck my chin, right? I want to keep my feet on the floor, doing my best, at least when I practice, so that I can engage my hips and not let my momentum rock back up onto my head. My chin is tucked, my core muscles are engaged, I squat down. I don't put my elbows or my hands on the floor. I let my shoulders get there first before my hands hit the floor. And then as soon as I get here, then I can relax to my guard stance. Before we practice our break falls to the side, do just that break fall in the back. Just remind it, refresh it in your mind and in your body before moving on to the next thing. All right, students, now performing our break fall to the side. When we start learning our break fall to the side, we want it to feel pretty similar to a break fall going backwards. How I'm going to make that happen is like this. I'm going to do my break fall to this side first. So I'm going to take my foot that's on that side, and I'm going to let it float and cross in front of the other. Just like when we practiced our break fall going backwards, we squatted ourselves down to get us into the momentum without just falling onto our floor. So I want to do the same thing just on the one foot, or do my best to anyway. I take this foot and I cross it across, and then I'm going to squat myself down as I roll. Now notice when I roll, I'm a little bit on my side, right? When you start learning your break fall to the side, it's totally fine if the first few times you practice your break fall to the side, that as you start to fall to the side, you turn and make it like a break fall to the back. That's totally fine. Eventually, I want to get comfortable staying just on the muscle on one side. Notice how my feet stayed in the orientation that they were when I fell. I have one foot up, I stepped it across, the other foot is on the floor. Now I engage my hip, my shoulder hits the floor first, and then I can take that hand and touch the floor. After I touch the floor for my break fall to the side, then I'll reset into my guard stance on my back before continuing. And again, our break fall from the side. If I'm going to go to this side, I take this foot, I cross it in front. I use that other foot to squat me down. I'm engaging my core, keeping that foot on the floor. As I get here, my shoulder hips, I engage my hips so that my momentum doesn't carry up. I touch the floor with my hand, not my elbow, not catching on my shoulder or anything like this, all the way here. And then I'll settle into my guard stance on my back. All right, black belt training students, go ahead and go grab your bow staff. Let's get ready to continue our series that we had previously built on. We talked about our rest position and our ready position. Our rest position, I take the thumb side of the bow staff, I point it down towards the floor so that I feel the bow staff pressed into the back of my shoulder. My ready position, I take my strong hand. Let's say this is our right hand. I want to turn that one so that that is palm up, and then my left hand is going to be palm down, doing my best to cut the bow staff into thirds. We also practice our horizontal attacks, pulling and pushing on one side and the other. We talked about where we want to position, not just the striking side of our bow staff, right, but the control side of our bow staff also. Go ahead and review those things before we continue. Anyway, students, now we're here in our ready position. Let's go from our horizontal attacks to now practicing our vertical attacks. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my strong side. This is our right hand. I'm going to take that hand that's palm up, and that's going to side that I'm going to attack forward with a horizontal attack. Now, when I attack with this side, remember our palm down hand, I lift my elbow just a little bit, I tuck it into my ribs here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that strong side hand and I'm going to pull this hand all the way up to my shoulder, and at the same time I'm going to take my control hand and I'm going to punch it all the way out forward here. It's on top, right just above my shoulder on the muscle there, and this hand is fully extended as it reaches out for that upward strike in that position. Right? Once I get all the way into that upward position, I'm going to reverse it and I'm going to strike downward. I'll take this hand, pull it back to my armpit or my ribs. As I take this hand, I make a little loop up and smack down on that side. From our ready position, I attack with that strong side, right? It's my right hand, that's palm up. I attack that side out. From that side, I'm going to go up by pulling my strong hand to my shoulder and punching my control hand out, and then I'm going to go down by taking that control hand, right, my palm down hand, pulling that back to my armpit or my ribs as I go up and strike down with that strong hand on that side. All right, students, now let's practice our vertical attacks, our up and down attacks on the opposite side. Now, I'm going to use my horizontal attack, attacking with my palm down side, my control side. So I pull my strong hand, right, or my palm up hand, back so that it touches right on the side of my arm, right? Definitely not letting it rise too high. And of course, I'm not going to be able to tuck it underneath. I go straight to that side. Notice how this hand punches all the way out and it's pointing straight. Now, instead of going up down on this side, I'm going to go down first and up second. So I take my palm up hand and I'm going to punch that one up and over as I take my palm down hand and I pull it down into my armpit on that same side. It doesn't cross my body as I do my vertical attacks. From here, I'm going to go back up. I take this hand, I pull it up, and then I take the hand underneath and I punch it out. Notice when I pull my up attack, I'm not letting this end of the bow staff get on top of my shoulder when it lands. I pull it right back into that little curve on that side that I create with my elbow and my deltoid right here, right? Down and up on that side. One more time, going from my ready position, I do my horizontal attack, attacking with my palm down side here. Then from here I go down by pulling all the way down on that side, attacking down, and then I reverse it, attacking up. Bam. All right, students, let's flow into this little combination, practicing our vertical attacks, right, using our horizontal attacks to get us into those positions. So I'm going to start with a horizontal attack. If I go on this side first, then I'm going to go up, down, up, down. From that position, I do my horizontal attack right away to the opposite side. And then on this side, I'm going down, up. Horizontal attack, vertical attacks. Horizontal attack, vertical attacks. All right, students, thank you so much for practicing with me today. Great job following along, practicing our kickboxing combinations, right, or our basic boxing pieces of it, and adding in those bob and weaves, right? We also practiced introduced our side falls rather than our back falls today, and then continuing with our bow staff or black belt training. Anyway, if you're enjoying the videos, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out our social media accounts on Instagram. We're Martial Arts Southlands and Fitness Southlands. Anyway, we'll see you next time.